Today on Guardian Answers, we're going to discuss safe insurance ratings. What do they mean? All right, so insurance agencies issue these ratings on for insurance purposes, for classification and insurance purposes to meet certain standards. And they're not. This is not to be confused with UL listing ratings or other kind of fire ratings and things like that. This is just strictly a rating for a type of construction of safe for insurance purposes, like a classification, basically. These ratings are determined primarily by the construction of the safe rather than by any testing like UL Underwriter Laboratories does. They do testing to get these ratings. This is just a classification based on the construction. And like I said, there's no testing involved in this at all. It's used basically to gauge if a specific safe meets a security standard. So we're talking about the different ratings they have, and I'll kind of have Randall list them up here for us. So the first rating is B. So the first rating used by insurance agency is the letter B. The B insurance classification indicates that the safe has a body less than a ½ inch thick and a door that's less than 1 inch thick. And you want to be aware too, like when you go into an Academy or Tractor Supply or Office Depot or wherever the Walmart places they sell these safes, they'll loosely use the term safe when they're more of a security container. So probably those ratings you have to check on a different safe by safe basis, but in general, most of those probably won't meet these classifications if you look closely. But just make sure you're taking a look at that. So the B one, like I said, has a body that's less than a ½ inch thick and a door that's less than 1 inch thick. The C rating, which is the next, we're going from like least to greatest. The C rating classification has a safe body of at least a ½ inch thick, so a ½ inch higher, and a door at least 1 inch thick. Like I said, these are only for insurance purposes. The third would be the E rating. Now the E rating is the insurance classification for a safe that has safe walls that are at least 1 inch thick and a door that's at least 1.5 inch thick. So they're getting bigger and bigger as these ratings go from B, C to E. Now, there's three more that we're going to discuss, three more ratings to discuss too. And one of them is the ER rating. So an ER is basically a TL15 equivalent. Not tested though, just a rating for what a TL15 safe would be rated as a ER classification for insurance purposes. And I had some notes here real quick just to quickly give you some information on what a TL15 is. We'll do some other videos on actual fire ratings and security ratings and things that we use in the industry, but this is just for insurance purposes. So, but that ER rating, that's equivalent to a TL15. This is what a TL15 generally is. So safes given a UL TL15 rating have passed standardized tests defining in UL Standard 687. It's using the same tools and usually the same group of testing engineers. And the label means that the safe has successfully resisted entry for a net working time of 15 minutes using common hand tools, drills, punches, hammers, and pressure applying devices. That time, and when I did some research on this, the time stops when they put their tool down and they're thinking and writing some stuff down, the time stops on that 15 minutes. So it's 15 minutes of actually doing the work on the safe. So it's not 15 minutes total time, the guy gets there pulling his tools out and all that. It's 15 minutes of actually attacking that safe. So the next rating, which is the F classification, is for equivalent to a TL30 safe, not tested, but it's equivalent to a TL30. And the only difference between a TL15 and a TL30 is that there's two differences. Instead of the 15 minutes, it's 30 minutes. And I believe they get some additional tools they can use also. It says, they're essentially the same test, except they're allowed 30 minutes and a few more tools, like abrasive cutting wheels and power saws. So, and these are experts in the trade too, whenever they're doing these TL ratings. These are not just like Joe Blow, here's some tools, get in. These are people that know exactly how to attack it and everything. So those ratings are pretty high ratings. Usually those TL rated safes are found in like jewelry stores, but like I said, we'll do another video on that later. So after the ER, which is the TL15 equivalent, and then the F rating, which is the TL30 equivalent, The final rating we have in here is the G and A rating. Now that's for a TL 30x6 equivalent, not tested. So TL 15 minutes to get in, TL 30, the 30 minutes to get in. The TL 30x6 means all 6 sides of that safe, even the bottom where no one gets to. Doesn't matter what side you attack it by, it's rated TL 30 basically on all 6 sides of the safe. That's what the TL 30x6 means. So just to recap here, and we can kind of put a new list up real quick if we need to, but you have the B rating, B classification. You have the C classification, the E classification, the ER, and the F, and the G and A. So these safes will go by insurance ratings until they're officially tested. So hopefully that helps clear things up a little bit. I know when I was first getting into the industry, starting to look into safes and things like that, I was like, what do all these codes mean? And you know, these are insurance ratings, and these are fire ratings, and these are security ratings, and there's all kinds of different things. So we're gonna try to clear all that up, make some video content for you. So we start today with the insurance ratings. Next one we'll do probably something along the lines of fire ratings and burglary ratings. And that's more the ratings that we use inside the shop here when we're selling a safe. Those are more the ones that we discuss with the customers, because if we're talking about specifics on security and fire ratings, they don't always care about the insurance ratings unless they're, you know, like a jewelry store or someplace like that needs to insure their belongings. Well, then the insurance company would say, well, you know, what kind of safe is it? And then they'd give it a classification and then quote you, I bet, based off that. And that's how your rates would be judged. So hopefully you enjoyed the content. It's not an exciting topic, but it's educational. We are on all the social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you wouldn't mind giving us a subscribe or a follow or a like or whatever it is for all those, we appreciate the support as always, and thanks for tuning in.